CMOS fabrication. Okay. So in the last class, we have seen what are the processing steps involved in making NMOS transistor, right? So the last class we have seen that NMOS fabrication, NMOS, N-channel MOSFET fabrication we have seen the last class. So what was the conclusion that we have seen? The conclusion is that if you want to create an N-channel NMOS transistor, okay, so it is very important to consider that we have to consider P substrate. So we have to consider P substrate. That's what we have to understand. And one more thing is that I told you in the, but anyway, that's what we have to do. I ask you to consider for the PMOS also. Please try to do this for PMOS also, like that I told you in the last class. Okay. So in this PMOS fabrication, what was the main interest? What could be the substrate for this one? The substrate should be minority carriers are required. Therefore, minority carriers are required means, so what is the minority carrier for the P substrate? Sorry, my P channel MOSFET. So it should be N-type substrate. Okay. So N substrate is required. Okay. So if you want to house an NMOS transistor, okay, we need to have P substrate. If you want to create a PMOS transistor, we need to have N substrate. Okay. So what is the reason for P substrate? As I mentioned that, because we want to create N-channel MOSFET. N-channel means electrons are required. So, but that electrons should be the minority carriers in a given substrate. That's what you have to remember. Why the P substrate? Because for NMOS transistor, electrons are the carriers are required. So to generate the electrons, that electron should be the minority carriers in the given substrate. In that sense, we need to consider P substrate. Similarly, if you want to create a P-channel MOSFET, that means holes must be the carriers for the current, okay, and that must be the minority carriers in the given substrate. In that sense, we should have N substrate. Clear? So why PMOS and NMOS? So therefore, later point of time that we have seen that, of course, we should have gate oxide. Both we have a gate oxide. Of course, on top of it, we should have a polysilicon. Of course, the polysilicon is required. And ion implantation is required for the source N plus and drain N plus. But in case of PMOS transistor, it should be P plus carriers. P plus carriers are required. Okay. So therefore, the final solution, final conclusion is that we have to create a metal here on top of it for the connection purpose. There should be a metal here for the connection purpose. There is a metal here for the connection purpose. Here also, we should provide a metal here for the connection purpose. Aluminum metal we have to consider for the connection purpose. Aluminum we have to use for the connection purpose. This is all about the fabrication of NMOS and the PMOS transistor. Now the question is that, as we have seen in the power consumption and the delay graph in the previous classes, so there is a problem. Just wait, actually the fan sound is very high, so I want to. Okay. Now, so we feel that NMOS transistor and PMOS transistor, or we can fabricate the transistors something like this. Okay. So in the previous class that we have seen that the power consumption graph. Okay. So something like this we have seen. Okay. The propagation delay, power consumption that we have seen. Okay, of course, maybe power consumption, maybe x-axis, and power propagation delay on the y-axis. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I think they might have seen that the propagation delay is, power dissipation is here, and the propagation delay is here. Okay, so delay and the power. Okay, we have seen that NMOS consumes more power. If NMOS is consuming more power, means PMOS is ultimately consumes a lot of power, because of course the delay of the circuit is also very high, and PMOS is the size of the PMOS is 2.5 times that of NMOS transistor. Usually we have to consider from the basic fundamental EDC concept. Okay, so therefore there is no point that you are using the PMOS transistor when we are considering the NMOS transistor. Okay, fine. But as we know that NMOS transistor consumes more power. Okay, and we also concluded that in that particular this graph, CMOS, so the circuit consisting of both NMOS and PMOS, both should be there, so consumes less power. How it can consume the less power, we will evaluate that point later on. Okay, just keep in your mind that CMOS is better considered compared to the NMOS. Okay, in terms of the power consumption. So therefore, in that sense, we are going to fabricate a CMOS device. Okay, so what is the main focus in the CMOS device? So what is the main idea? CMOS idea. CMOS idea is that we have to consider one substrate. Okay, use both NMOSFETs, and we have to consider PMOSFETs. Both should be there at the same substrate. Same substrate. Substrate should be the common, but we have to provide this one. Is it possible? So generally we considered in the just before that we have seen that for NMOS transistor, P substrate is required. Obviously, for NMOS transistor, sorry, PMOS transistor, N substrate is required. But in case of CMOS technology, we have to consider same substrate. Okay, so in order to get this kind of, in order to solve this problem, they have invented the concept called well formation. Well formation. Okay, so they have created that well formation they have considered. So what it says that, so whenever you are using this particular structure, OP, and I want to paste it here. Okay, so whenever you want to do something like this, better you have to keep one particular transistor in a well, okay, and use the same substrate for these two things. Clear? So that is how we have to consider. That means that, so in this particular sense, whatever the NMOS transistor substrate is there, that is common for the PMOS also. Okay, but different notations are there, but actually we can consider this is the one approach. So this is called, this particular approach is called N-well approach. N-well approach. Okay. Or you may consider another point is also. Okay, so why can't we use, why are using that one only? Why can't we place the NMOS transistor in the well? Why can't we provide this one? Yes, it is also possible. So that is called P-well process, or P-well approach, or P-well process. What does it mean? It doesn't matter. Okay, that means that for NMOS substrate, P substrate is required. Okay, but here we can say that P substrate, PMOS transistor substrate is common for both. Okay, another alternative way is that so why can't you, so why you are using, because there is a performance problems is there. So actually NMOS is a better performer compared to the PMOS performer, PMOS transistor. NMOS transistor is a better performer compared to the PMOS. So if you're using the PMOS in a low performer in a well structure, automatically the performance may degrade. Okay, may degrade. And that means there is no synchronization between these two. Okay, there we have to compromise some particular parameters in individual well structures. But whereas if you use Y, so in order to avoid the problem, so we are going to use the two wells here. We're going to use the two wells here. There is a possibility set. So this process is called twin tub process. This is called twin tub process or approach. So these are the three possible ways that we can create the common substrate for both the transistors in more effective manner, so that we can place NMOS and PMOS in a given in the same base material, in a same base material. Clear? So therefore, in a CMOS process, in CMOS, therefore, what is the conclusion that we can draw here? The conclusion is, note, it is possible to fabricate CMOS in three ways. Okay, the first one is N-well process. The second one is P-well process. The third one is twin tub process. Twin tub process. Clear? So we will consider one particular process here, and remaining things are the same. Okay, you can follow it. If possible, the twin tub also I will do that one. Okay, in this particular class, I'm mainly focusing on N-well process. Okay, N-well CMOS fabrication. N-well CMOS fabrication. Is it clear to all of you? So what do you mean by the N-well and CMOS fabrication? So first I want to give you the broad fabrication steps now, and then we will go for individual steps. Okay, what we have to do, those who have clearly understood the concept of NMOS fabrication, this is very simple. So that's the reason why I want to do here itself. Okay, so I have to consider a substrate. What is the substrate that is required? If it is a P-well, so please remember that. If it is a P-well means, what should be the substrate? P substrate should be there. So if it is an N-well, P substrate is required. Therefore, we have to consider a P substrate. Okay, then what I have to do, I have to create a well. I have to create a well. What type of well that I have to create? N-well, right? So this N-well can be considered as a substrate for that particular transistor. Okay, so therefore this is the first step. This is the first step, substrate. The second step, we have to do it well formation. The third step is gate oxidation. As everybody knows that we have to create the gate oxide. So this question is very important. You will find one question in the main examination. Okay, so we have a gate oxide. So therefore, this is the third step. Okay, then we have to create a polysilicon on top of it. We have to create a polysilicon. So this is the fourth step. Okay, and then I have to create I have to pattern each and everything. Of course, the default and conventional steps that I'm not showing in this particular overview of the fabrication steps. So we have to remember that. So therefore, I want to remove some portions of this one. Okay, I have to create only the gate is available at the middle point of that one only. Okay, so these points are not required. Okay, similarly, I have to create the gate polysilicon, and then gate oxide only at the middle portions only. Okay, so this point మీకు అర్థమయ్యే ఉంటుంది. Okay, so this is the point that we have to remember. So okay, so we have created the source. Sorry, we have created the gate oxide. On top of it we have a polysilicon. Okay, so therefore third and fourth step is something like this. After that one, we have to remove etching process. We have to remove unwanted polysilicon, unwanted gate oxide. Later on, we have to use the source and drain of this one. So P plus is required here. This also P plus is required here. While doing this PMOS fabrication, NMOS should be covered. Okay, so we have to cover this NMOS transistor by using some glass plate. Okay, that's what you have to remember while doing this one. And one of the important point is that actually the MOS transistor is a 4-terminal device. Okay, as we have mentioned previously, we have a gate, we have a source, we have a drain, we have a body also, right? We have a body also. That means substrate is also there. So the substrate connection is also very, very important for us. So therefore, that's the reason why what I have to do. So I have to use the substrate for the P substrate here. See, for NMOS transistor, we need a one substrate is required. For that one, so while doing the PMOS fabrication, I have to consider P plus substrate for this one also. Okay, we forgot to actually, we did not mention any kind of substrate connection here actually. If you consider the NMOS transistor, a substrate is connection is also required, since it is only, we have shown 3 terminals only, but it's a 4-terminal device. Therefore, that means we need to have a P substrate here also. P plus, or a small pocket of P plus is also required. So once the fabrication of N plus and 2 N plus are over, we have to create another mask for the P plus. You have to remember that. So on top of it, we have to consider that it is actually a, we have to provide one metal on top of it. We have to consider this is the bulk, this is the gate, this is the source, this is the drain. Clear? So here similarly, here also we have to consider there is a one substrate is required. This is called N plus. Okay, so on top of it we have a polysilicon, sorry, a metal. Therefore, it will be considered a body for the PMOS transistor. It's the drain, this is the gate, this is the source. So therefore, actually that point is also there, but simplicity, I did not mention the substrate connection in the fabrication steps. Okay, but it is there. So for that one, we have to create one small layer for the mask is required for that one also. So far, so good. Okay, there is no issue for this one. I think better I have to use this somewhat more distance, so it will be very clear. So I have to create a gate oxide here. On top of it, we have a polysilicon. So we have a polysilicon and we have a gate oxide. So gate oxide, polysilicon, diffusion, the ion implantation is the terms that should be there in your mouth. Okay, while we are doing the fabrication. Now we have to create a NMOS transistor, right? So N plus is required. Here is N plus is required. Another part where N plus is required, it is N well. Okay, so therefore somewhere, so it should be either this side or maybe this side also we can use it. Here is N plus, I'm using this one. Okay, now final step is metallization. So we have to use the metal here. We have used a metal here. We have to use a metal here. This is the metal. Here also a metal is required. Here is all the metal is required. Here is a metal is required. Here is metal is required. So what we can call it as drain of PMOS transistor, gate of PMOS transistor, source of PMOS transistor, body of PMOS transistor, drain of NMOS transistor, gate of NMOS transistor, source of NMOS transistor, body of NMOS transistor. That's how. That is how we have to create the NMOS fabrication. Sorry, CMOS fabrication. Is it clear? This is the overview of the overview. fabrication CMOS. You should remember this point. So when you directly draw, so in the examination, if they ask you to directly explain the fabrication steps of the anvil CMOS fabrication, means don't write this is a direct diagram. Okay, there is a processing steps are there. We will do that one by one. Okay, I think you have a clear-cut idea what we are going to do in the step-by-step procedure. Okay, so let us start now. How do we fabricate this one very quickly? So what is the first step? P substrate is required, right? So for the P substrate is required, what are the steps that we have to use? Fabrication steps. Fabrication, detailed steps of N-well CMOS. So you have to remember that. N-well CMOS. Okay. So what is the first step that we have to remember? So we need to have a substrate is required. So for the substrate, what is the step? Crystal growth is required, right? Crystal growth. So by using the crystal growth technique that we have to do. So what do you mean by crystal growth? How do we do this one that I have mentioned in the previous week? Okay, please go through that slide once, that video once. Okay, so the crystal growth means a suitable substrate is required. Okay, which color that I want to consider this? Okay, this I consider. So a suitable substrate is required. Polycrystalline, single crystal, polycrystalline silicon. So which must be doped with P-type semiconductor, P-type material, P-type dopants, P-type substrate. Okay. So by using the crystal growth technique, single crystal silicon with the required doping, with the required resistivity, we can achieve that one. Here the doping is a P-type substrate. The resistivity will be low resistive material that I have to consider. Okay, that is the first step. The second step is well formation. I think I can consider it as N-well formation. Okay, N-well formation. So this is done by using diffusion process. Diffusion process. So the difference between the diffusion and ion implantation. So the purpose of the diffusion and ion implantation is the same, but accuracy is very, very high for the implantation technique, ion implantation technique, than that of the diffusion process. Okay, the stringent conditions are have to be met for the those regions. In that situation, we have to go for ion implantation. If the stringent conditions are not necessary, then go for the diffusion process. Okay, so the diffusion or ion implantation, both purposes penetrate the dopant atoms into another material. Okay, so we have to insert into another material. Okay, so therefore what I have to do is that, what is the process that I have to do? So here, for example, you can study in this way. We have a substrate here. Okay, I have to take this particular portion. This particular portion must be diffused with the P-type material. Sorry, N-type materials, right? I have to use this one, but it is not possible directly to diffuse the dopant N-type impurities into the given area. It's not possible directly. So for that one, what we have to do is that first we have to select this particular portion from here to here only. We have to select. In order to do that one, what we have to do, we have to use the field oxidation first. I have to create a field oxidation. Okay, so the field oxide. Okay, so we have to do the silicon dioxide on top of it, and we have to remove the silicon dioxide only at this portion. So only at this portion, silicon dioxide must be removed. So only for the selective removal of the silicon dioxide, photolithography is required, right? With the help of photolithography, we can remove this portion. Okay, so of course the photolithography process consisting of different things. Okay, that is photoresist material deposition. Okay, and mask definition and UV radiation that is required for that one. And after that one, we can remove the photoresist material and we can remove the silicon dioxide by using the hydrofluoric solution. And we can remove this portion and something like this, it will be shown. Now it is possible. Now it is possible to diffuse something. So the something base silicon is something like this. Now it is possible to introduce the N-well something like this. Okay. Okay. So therefore, in order to do this N-well formation cheyalante first manaku kavalsindi entaya. The first thing is, what is the first thing? What is the first thing? So I will write it here only. Field oxidation is required. Field oxidation followed by photolithography. Are you agree with me? Then only we have to go for diffusion. After this, diffusion takes place. Diffusion takes place. Firstly, we have to do the following steps. I hope you understand this point, right? So therefore, somehow I have created the N-well in that one by using this particular mechanism. Okay. Later, I want to remove the field oxide on entire portion. If you want to remove the field oxide in the entire portion, what I can do, just I have to dip this material into the hydrofluoric solution and remaining portions of the silicon dioxide, that means field oxide, will get removed. Okay. The next foremost important thing is that that is gate oxide formation, gate formation, or I can say that not the gate oxide, gate formation, gate oxide, I can write it, gate oxide. Okay, so this is called thin oxide under thin oxide. So I'm going to realize the gate first, then source and drain, then metallization. I have to go for it. Okay, so therefore, in order to do this one, first I have to remove, as everybody knows that. So this must get removed. Okay, first of all. Okay, so I will copy this. Copy. Okay. Okay, so in order to do that one gate oxide, what I have to do? I have to remove this gate field oxide first of all. I have to remove this field oxide. So with the help of hydrofluoric solution, no mask is required because this entire portion silicon dioxide I want to remove. Only for the selective removal, photolithography is required. If the photolithography is not required, for entire portion to remove. Right now, I have to create a gate oxide on top of it. So this is also a oxidation process only. Very thin oxide, very thin oxide. So it's very. So very thin oxide I have to create it on this one. Okay, so please remember that this is a thin oxide. Thin oxide. Okay, now after that one, what is the fourth step? Fifth step, what is the fourth step? D. Poly deposition. Poly deposition. Sorry. Poly formation. Polysilicon gate. Polysilicon gate formation. So what I have to do then, I have to consider this entire portion and copy. I want to paste it at this point. So just I have to place a polysilicon with the using the red color. So on top of it, I have to create polysilicon on top of it. Okay. So polysilicon gate formation is done by using the CVD technique, chemical vapor deposition technique. By using the CVD technique, I can remove, I can provide the vapor deposition. So just a gas, a vapor vapor gas that we have to enter into this polysilicon atoms on top of the surface of the polycrystalline silicon. So on top of the thin oxide. Okay. So we have to create polysilicon. So this is how we have created the polysilicon gate technology. Since the polysilicon used, that's the reason why we are using the polysilicon gate technology. Okay, and time is up, and tomorrow we will see the remaining things is better. Okay.